The Bengals are 1-4 for the first time in nearly 2 decades. I have plenty of thoughts as we get to our winners and losers from a 41-38 heartbreaking loss in overtime to the Baltimore Ravens. It was a must win, and the Bengals shoulda, coulda, woulda, but didn't get it done. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of BengalsTalk.com. Make sure you check out the website. Plenty of awesome articles and Bengals coverage coming your way, whether it's win, lose, draw. I say it all the time. Also, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Today's video brought to you by BetUS. And let's get to our winners and losers. The winners are quick, and I'm going to be very, very quick here. Joe Burrow has been awesome. Jamar Chase has been awesome. T. Higgins was really, really good yesterday. So I would say Joe Burrow and the Bengals' weapons are winners. And yet I have questions. I have plenty of questions, and there will be time to dive into Joe Burrow's numbers and Jamar Chase's numbers. And I did so at BengalsTalk.com. But you don't want to hear that. You want to hear about the losers. Let's be honest. You do, and I want to discuss them because boy, oh boy, it is unbelievable and yet completely believable to look at this team and realize that they're 1-4, to realize that they're 1-4, where their four losses have been by a total of 15 points. Whether it's Ted Karras saying we're the would be kings, whether it's the late game execution that you want to discuss, all of those things are something that we're going to hit on here with our losers. And let's start by addressing the thing that everyone's talking about, and that's Zac Taylor deciding to run Chase Brown, and then run Chase Brown at the end of the game. One of those plays of the three in overtime was a check by Joe Burrow. I believe it was on second down because Zac Taylor said that Chase was able to get some yards, and he did run for 3 yards on that play. Look, when you've struggled to close out games, usually you'd say, all right, well, what's our bread and butter? And your bread and butter is Jamar Chase, and your bread and butter is Joe Burrow. So to me, Zac Taylor falls into the loser category here because the game's on the line. T. Higgins has 9 catches. Jamar Chase has been awesome, has a career high against the Ravens, 10 catches, has 2 touchdowns for the first time of his career against the Ravens. And Joe Burrow's just awesome. I mean, nearly 400 yards. And I get it. At the end of regulation, Joe gets sacked. You have the incomplete to T. You obviously had the interception on the slant to Jamar. Like, things can go wrong, but things can go wrong on a run play too. And so being conservative in that situation is something that's always going to get second guessed. And it's one thing when you have Andy Dalton at quarterback, because then you do play it safe, and I get it. Right? Like when the Patriots came back from 28-3 in the Super Bowl, and Kyle Shanahan's dropping back with Matt Ryan, and I know Matt Ryan won an MVP. But Matt Ryan is not Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is on another level. And one of the best quarterbacks in the league, probably the second best quarterback in the league. Right now might be playing like the best quarterback in the league. And so when he does what he's done all day, I don't like that the Bengals didn't throw it once because time doesn't matter. And so Zac Taylor falls in this category. I also don't understand why, and this is a side note, T. Higgins isn't getting more snaps than Andre Yosefach. I get it. You like Andre as a blocker, not something I'm into. Other losers, Ryan Rico has to be here, has to be in the losers column. It's pretty obvious why. You got to get the hold down, and you didn't. And Evan McPherson took blame. It's not Evan's fault. And that's something that has to get done. That's why he's here. It's why during training camp, I talked about how important holding was in the punter battle. The trust built there, or not built, whatever the case is. And I think he has built trust. I haven't seen him have holding issues. And so it's just really unfortunate timing, but that unfortunate timing means that you end up in the loser column, especially because the game's on the line. And this was a season defining potential win. You win that game, season defining. I have a couple more losers, and they're oh, one's a position group. The other is a fatal flaw that the 2024 Bengals possess, and I hate it. We will get to those coming up next. Today's video is brought to you by BetUS. You got to get to betus.com today. And right now, use code YouTube150 and you're going to get 150% bonus, a 150% bonus right now, up to $2,000 on that initial deposit. And then your next two deposits after that, a 125% bonus. So the Bengals, 3.5 point favorites right now against the Giants in week 6. Maybe you like them there. Maybe you don't. Maybe you think that Daniel Jones is just going to throw all over this defense and just slice and dice the safeties for the Bengals. Well, if that's the case, you can wager on that too. That's the beauty of BetUS is they have parlays, they have live wagering, they have the best betting variety in the business. And so take advantage of this offer right now by going to betus.com using code YouTube150 for a 150% deposit bonus up to $2,000. Again, that's code YouTube150 at betus.com. All right, let's get to the rest of our losers. And the Bengals safeties stink. They stink right now. Von Bell is slow and either thought he had coverage over the top or there was a miscommunication there. Can't happen. Jordan Battle, who everybody wanted to come in, gave up plays the moment he got into the game. Geno Stone gives up on the play where Sam Hubbard gets stiff armed into the ground, which, by the way, has no business doing. You got to just run through Lamar. You run through him. And he didn't. So he gets stiff armed into the ground. Lamar makes an awesome play, but you lose a tight end in coverage. That can't happen. Can't lose a tight end in coverage. So the Bengals safeties are losers right now. And maybe that's not fair to Dejon Anthony and Tyson Anderson. Who knows? Maybe those guys should get a look because it's just really, really unfortunate to see what this safety room has done or hasn't done. I mean, these tight ends for the Ravens, they all made huge plays. Mark Andrews made plays. He hadn't made plays all season. Isaiah Likely, 2 touchdown catches. He has been asleep since week 1. They haven't needed him. Charlie Kolar is suddenly making plays and is a factor, making big plays. Like, it just can't happen. I think it's an indictment on safety play. They're not fast, not athletic. In Geno Stone, the ball hawking ability, we just haven't seen it. And the tackling and all of these issues, it's come full circle for these guys. So the safeties really underwhelmed by them this year to this point. And I like those guys. I like Jordan Battle and Von Bell and Geno Stone. Like it made sense on paper. Right now, it isn't working, and that's up to Lou Anarumo and company to figure it out. Because right now, it is bad, bad, bad. And then the last thing, look, the good teams find ways to win. This Bengals team is finding new ways to lose each and every week. And so their late game execution stinks. And that's why their late game execution is a big fat L, loser this week. And whether it's Ryan Rico in the hold, whether it's Jamar Chase taking blame for the route, here's what I know is the Ravens were calling out that route from the sideline. They knew it was coming. Marlon knew it was coming. Joe said he wouldn't do anything different. So Chase has to run the perfect route for that to work. Well, then maybe there should be a different situation if the whole world knows what route's being run there. That can't happen. And so the interception, the sack on 1st and 10 with 1 minute and 35 seconds to go in regulation and a chance to go down and kick the game-winning field goal doesn't happen because you have a sack there and boom, it's 2nd and 17. Joe a little off target to T. Higgins, and just like that, 3rd and 17, you have to get it to overtime. Obviously, the hold, the just huge issue. And then not throwing it. There is a problem there. There is. On 3rd and 7, you can't tell Joe Burrow, hey, don't take a sack here and call a play where Jamar's the first read, T's the second read, and then he could throw it at Zach Moss's feet if he's blitzed and doesn't have time to throw it. Like, that's the route you go, I think. And so late game execution in general just didn't work. And so this Bengals team, they are what they are, which is a 1-4 team. And they have to dig out of it, and it is going to be tough. And the most concerning thing to me, Joe and Jamar playing at such a high level, and they still are 1-4. We're going to have you covered all week long. Please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Check out BetUS. Yes, this video is brought to you by BetUS. Use code YouTube150 to get a 150% deposit bonus up to $2,000. And for Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien. As always, thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.